So we grew from 22 trillion shilling fund at June 2024 to 26 trillion shilling fund at June 2025. That's 4 trillion shilling growth, 17% growth in an economy that grew by 6.4%. Now, so we have this strategy that we followed for the last 10 years. And I have to give Richard credit. Richard was part of this team. We laid down the foundations that make us work well, make us want to do things well, make us to go an extra length. And I think the beauty for us is we're doing it as Ugandans. And it shows us as Ugandans, when we are determined, when we focus, we can do amazing things, because that's what has happened across. So you tell me what the magic is? I think just the dedication of the team, the willingness, the desire to do what's right, and just making sure that we wow you, our members, we wow our customers. They'll trust us with their money.
What are the other highlights? What are the other big numbers? Of course, you speak about the new innovations.
Yes.
About voluntary contributions,
yes,
and all that. And I've seen some pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
Billions of shillings coming.
So some of the things we've done, and how do we measure that trust? How do we know that we're doing certain things right? In November 2024, which is right around 9 months ago, we rolled out a voluntary program. Minimum amount to put in is 5,000 shillings. And within those 9 months, those numbers, the number of people who have saved open accounts with us, 38,000 Ugandans. They've saved over 27 billion shillings in 9 months. And some are saving consistently as low as 5,000 shillings whenever they get a chance.
We also have sizable investments in some of the most recently listed companies.
Yes.
MTN.
Yes.
You also recently put
Correct.
Intel.
Correct.
What do the numbers say? Are we growing?
If you just, we measure about what you call the dividend yield, based on the investment you've put in, how much of the dividends they pay. For example, MTN paid us 61 billion shillings last year. Airtel paid us about 34 billion shillings. Those are very good numbers for the investment. That means that the investment decision was right, because it's providing us with returns for the member. So when you look at, by diversifying, we moved into the regional markets correctly. Heavily invested in Kenya, in Tanzania, and slightly in Rwanda. So when you look at the movement, that means we're exposed to foreign currency movement. The shilling strengthened against all those three currencies. So we had a revaluation. We had to write down our assets because the shilling was stronger than the Kenya shilling. That was about a 247 billion shilling revaluation that we took. But on the other hand, the stock exchanges grew in all these markets. So we got a gain of 760 billion shillings. So net, by investing in this region, without considering the interest we got, without considering the dividends we got, just the gains from the market movements, by virtue being this market, the gain was about 500 billion shillings, which is good for the member. All the investments we made in Umeme, we recovered it through the dividends that we received. In fact, we got more by investing in Umeme than even what we had put in. I mean, the latest dividend we got from Umeme was 91 billion shillings. This came in June, actual cash that came through. However, we had that investment in Umeme because of uncertainty about the future of Umeme in terms of getting other contracts. We had to revalue it, we had to write it down, that investment down. So the numbers we present here has already reflected that conservative view we have about Umeme. So whatever comes out of that arbitration will be a plus, because we took the most conservative position and wrote down that asset. One of the things that I think we reported here, which was really good, was, do you know that in 1 year, we pretty much sold close to 200 homes in Lubowa? Actually, not 1 year. Between January 1 this year and now, we sold close to 200 homes in Lubowa. We are finishing Temangalo. We think we'll begin the pre-sales possibly around November, because most of the units will be done by then. So can be pre-sales, and as you know, that Temangalo kind of supports our strategy of getting to affordable housing for Ugandans who can afford it. The Sentema Road is being worked on, so it's going to be one of those areas that really nice to have. And this is organized communities. If you ever go to our properties, now you know you are living in a decent place.